Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news we're now all focused on the depth of the global recession, with recovery a long way off. The US Fed has been meeting and kept its policy settings unchanged for a fourth consecutive time, but its forecasts also show that it plans to hold these positions until at least 2023. It says it's expecting something of an economic growth bounce back in 2021, but it seems to have trimmed the scale of the recovery expectations. Reducing forward projections is a Fed pattern these days, but at least they don't see the 2020 jobless rate rising from here. US retail sales for August were virtually unchanged from a year ago and well below analyst expectations. This is consistent with the weak Red Book reporting we've been doing recently. And the July data was revised lower. American businesses continued to destock, with inventories down now a massive 5.9% year on year and taking $120 billion out of their reserves. In China, manufacturing investment rose 5% in August from a year earlier, the first gains of 2020 and another sign the Chinese economy's recovery is embedding. Further, these gains are from the private sector, with the national and local authority investment taking a back seat and their data virtually unchanged from a year ago. In Japan, their trade surplus swelled in August when a small deficit was expected, with exports down less than expected, but their imports were also down more than expected. In Australia, universities are now shedding jobs in large numbers, and there's no end to the enrolment retrenchment from foreign students. The Oecd is reporting a substantial decline in economic activity amongst its members, but it also says the declines have been less than feared. But New Zealand gets no mention in this assessment. We'll get our own economic impact review for the June quarter later this morning, with GDP released that is certain to show we've been in recession. The signal that the New Zealand government's borrowing program has been scaled back suggests that the recovery may not be as distant here. US Treasury 10-year yield is unchanged at 0.68%, and the price of gold will start today up $6 to $1,960 an ounce. Oil prices are up today, up more than $1.50 to just on $40 a barrel in the US, while the international price is just on $42 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar will start today at 67.4 US cents and marginally higher than this time yesterday. Against the Australian dollar we're higher too, at 92.3 Australian cents, and against the euro we're up to 57 euro cents. That means our trade weight index is now at 70.3. We must also note that the Chinese yuan appreciated significantly against the US dollar yesterday, taking up to levels last seen more than a year ago. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.